Students, we are in chapter 11, that is your network example and protocols. So in that we are discussing with mobile networks. So there are how many generations in mobile networks? Yes, totally you will be having 5 generations. We are having 5 generation. So in that we have already discussed first generation. So first generation was introduced in the year 1981. In that what concept was launched for you? Yes, NMT concept was launched for you. So the first generation had many drawbacks. It had many drawbacks. So few to tell us, yes, it provide poor voice quality, and similarly what is they are going to transmit are unsure and unencrypted. So similarly it has very low traffic density. So these are the few drawbacks or the points that is available under first generation. So in first generation, which mode of transmission was used? Yes, analog transmission was used for you people. Okay, wow. Yes, by now we are going to discuss second generation. We are going to discuss second generation, that is your 2G. So 2G was introduced in the year. So already I have given the introduction, each and everything in which year. So 2G was introduced in the year 1991. So in this, which was launched for you? Yes, GSM was launched for you. And second generation, GSM concept was launched for you. This technology was launched for you. So in the first generation, they are using analog transmission. So in the second generation, they are using digital transmission. Here they are using digital transmission. Here they are using digital transmission. Digital transmission. So what is GSM stands for? GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Communication. GSM stands for Global System for Mobile Global System for Mobile Communication. Mobile communication. So this was your popular standard during the second generation. Here the frequency bands are, here the frequency bands are 900 megahertz and 1800 megahertz. So it is going to have 900 megahertz and 1800 megahertz. Okay, wow. So second generation digital transmission was introduced. Similarly, they launched Global System for Mobile Communication. Here the frequency bands for are 900 megahertz and 1800 megahertz. So here only, since the digital transmission was introduced, here they introduced the concept of SIM. Here they introduced the concept of SIM. So what's the expansion for SIM? Yes, it is your subscriber identity module. It is your subscriber. It is your subscriber identity module. Okay, wow. So SIM stands for Subscriber Identity Module. Yes, by the name itself, it acts as for the purpose of identification. It is just used for the purpose of identification of the person who is going to use that one, and for the purpose of billing, they are going to use this SIM. So why they use SIM? Yes, just for the purpose of identity and for billing purpose. And similarly to avoid what you people are communicating with each and everyone without that is without permission, you should not listen to that one. So that is also avoided by means of introducing this SIM concept. Here the transmission is usually happened by means of two-way, that is TDMA, and the next one it is your CDMA. Here the transmission happens by means of TDMA, and the next one it is your CDMA. So what is TDMA? What is TDMA? Yes, it is your time division multiple access. Time Yes, it is your time division multiple access. And similarly, CDMA is your code division multiple access. It is your code division multiple access. So why are they are using these methods and all? Yes, just to increase the amount of information transport on the network, they are used. Yes, to increase the amount of information. To increase the amount of information transported on the network. They are using these concepts, okay, wow. They are using the concepts of TDMA and another one it is your CDMA. Here the mobility is supported layer 2. Layer 2 means there are many layers we are having. So this mobility is supported at layer 2. Layer 2 means it stops seamless roaming across access networks and routing domains. So what is the concept behind that layer 2 transmission means? So for example, you consider you are in one area. For your mobile, your operator is available at another area. Then how you people can access that tower or that network? Yes, they will be having some dealing or agreement that you people can use that operator. For example, you consider you are having BSNL SIM. But your operator is not near with you. That is, உன்னோட டவர் என்ன பண்ணல, உன்னோட நீ போட்டிருக்க பக்கத்தில் இல்லை. அப்போ what they will be having, each and every operator will be having agreement. What agreement they will be having? Yes, நீ இந்த இடத்தை வந்து கவர் பண்ணிக்கோ, என்னோட டவர் அங்கே இருந்தாலும் உன்னோட டவரை நாங்கள் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிடுறோம். ஸோ லைக் தட் they will be having agreement with each and every other, with each and every operator, and by this it permit roaming. By this it is able to permit the roaming. So these are the points that you will be having under second generation. You will be having under second generation of mobility. So it was introduced in the year 1991 and here they introduced GSM. What do you mean by GSM? Yes, it is your global system for mobile communication. Here they use the frequency bands of range 900 megahertz and 1800 megahertz. Here only they introduced the concept of SIM. SIM is subscriber identity module. Similarly, the transmission used TDMA and CDMA, that is your time division multiple access, and the next one it is your code division multiple access. Why are they using like these concepts and all? Yes, to transfer, that is to increase the amount of information transmitted on the transported or transmitted on the network for you people. So each and every operator will be having agreement to use their network tower. To use their tower, they will be having agreement with each and everyone. So clear with the second generation? Next we are going to discuss second generation to third generation bridge. So just now we finished the second generation and now we are going to continue with the next one, that is the bridge between the second generation and the third generation. So this was introduced in year 2000. It was introduced in the year 2000. Here which was launched for you? Yes, GPRS was launched for you. Here GPRS was launched for you. What GPRS stands for? Yes, GPRS stands for General Packet Radio Service. GPRS stands for General Packet Radio Service. So in this case only there is a excess development, more development was started in this stage only is developed in which area? Mobile networking area. Many axis development was introduced and started. So thus there came the GPRS concept, that is your general packet radio service. So this is a data service. This is GPRS is your data service which enables the mobile. So this is your data service, and this one enables the mobile to send and receive, enables the mobile to send and receive messages, then what? Picture messages and emails. This concept only enable the users to send and receive messages, picture messages and email. Okay, wow. Similarly, here the speed ranges from, yes, speed. It is 115 kilobits, okay, wow. Kilobit per second. Similarly to the maximum of 384 kilobits per second. Yes, so the speed is 115 kilobit per second and to the maximum of 384 kilobit per second. Here by using H, what is H for you? H stands for, yes, H stands for enhanced data rates for global evolution. So the H expansion is enhanced data rates for global evolution. Yes, by means of this, the speed range is given for you people. Similarly, GSM data transmission rate typically reached, yes, typically 9.6 kilobit per second. Yes, 9.6 kilobit per second. So this is the bridge between 2G to 3G introduced in the year 2000. Here they use the concept of GPRS, that is your general packet radio service. It is your data service. And it enables to send and receive messages, picture message and emails. The speed is range from 115 kilobits per second and to the maximum of 384 kilobit per seconds. Here it is going to have H, that is your enhanced data rates for global evolution. And by means of this, the data transmission typically reached 9.6 kilobits per second. Typically reached 9.6 kilobit per second. Next, we are going to discuss third generation. Third generation. So, third generation introduced in the year, yes, it is 2003. The first launch was in UK 3G. Okay, wow. First launch, that is first it is in UK 3G. Yes, so this, by means of this time, the mobile technology reached very high. It is at the very standard high range and it uses higher frequency band for transmission. So in this year, they used higher. So second generation, we have discussed some frequency bands, no? By this, that is the third generation, they used higher frequency bands. Higher frequency bands for the purpose of transmission. And CDMA, this second generation we discussed, no? CDMA is used to deliver data rates up to 2 megabits. CDMA was used for to deliver the data at data rates up to yes, it is your 2 megabit per second. 2 megabit per second. So here they started using higher frequency bands for the purpose of transmission. Similarly, CDMA. What is CDMA for you people? It is your code division multiple access. It is your code division multiple access. The second generation we discussed now, yes, that concept was used to deliver data rates of up to 2 megabit per second. Here it supported multimedia service. Here it supports multimedia service. Multimedia. What do you mean by multimedia? Yes, many media together for you people. That is, you will be having audio, you will be having video, you will be having picture messages, everything together for you people. That is, your voice, video and data, everything together for you. In short, you people can tell it as MMS. Okay, wow. Yes, it is going to support audio, video, that and data for you. So similarly, by the side itself, European standard, that is UMTS. European standard UMTS was introduced, that is Universal Mobile Telecommunication System. So it was introduced in European countries. Okay, wow. Universal Mobile Telecommunication System. Telecommunication system in European countries, that is the most European. European country, they used a standard, that is your UMTS. So similar, by side itself, mobile system continue to use the digital transmission with SIM. The second generation we finished now, they are using SIM. Why they are using SIM? Yes, just for the purpose of billing and for data encryption. Similarly, they are using another one technology also here, that is your WCMA. They are using WCMA. So in this third generation, we have discussed many things, okay, many technologies. The first European standards we discussed, it is your UMTS. The next we are just now we are going to see WCDMA. WCDMA. It stands for wide band code division multiple access. Yes, why this technique was used? Yes, this technique was used to obtain the data rates between 384 kilobit per second and 2048 kilobit per second. So this is your data rates. So by means of this technique, we are able to have the data rates between 384 kilobits per second and 2048 kilobit per second. So similarly, many or few 3G suppliers used ATM. Few 3G suppliers used ATM. What do you mean by ATM? It is your asynchronous transfer mode. It is your asynchronous transfer mode. So few 3G suppliers are using this type of mode to have the over-air network, that is for the purpose of network connection. Many technologies or many techniques are used. Few are using UMTS in Europeans and few are using WCDMA, that is your wide band code division multiple access, and few 3G companies are using ATM, that is your asynchronous transfer mode. For this one, what protocol they are using is MPLS. They are using MPLS. What is MPLS for you people? Yes, it is your multi-protocol. It is your multi-protocol label switching. Multi-protocol label switching. So few are using ATM, that is your asynchronous transfer mode for over the air network, for which they are using which protocol? Yes, MPLS, that is nothing but multi protocol label switching, or IP. IP we have already discussed, no? So that also they are using. Few are using MPLS and few are using IP. So these are the few techniques that are available during the 3G, that is during the 2003 time, So first it was mainly used in the European countries only. So many standards are here for you: UMTS, WCDMA, next ATM. So these are the few techniques that are available during the third generation. Similarly, here the roaming is beyond heterogeneous. What do you mean by heterogeneous? That is different network operators will also be able to give connections for you people. So thus the customers, or thus the persons will be having their connections without any cut in between. They will be having connections. Here the transmissions band frequencies ranges from, the transmission band frequency ranges between 1900 megahertz and 2000 megahertz. So here it is also going to use the layer 2 concept only. Layer 2 concept means, yes, while roaming is there, it is going to use different network. While moving from one location to another, it is going to use different network. Not only it is going to use the same network, it is going to use different network. That is your layer 2 support. Okay, so here the transmission was band frequencies between 19002 and 2200 megahertz. Here in the license code, just we now discussed UMTS, no? So here for them the license is for 20 years. License is given for 20 years. So what this license is telling for them? Yes, within few years, that is for within 20 years, they must be able to cover 80% of the population. They must, by giving a standard or by giving very good network coverage, these companies must be able to cover 80% of their population. 80% of their population they must be able to cover. So these operators are able to do it before August, that is 2004. They try to do it by means of August 2004. These are the points that you people are having under 3G. What is the point we have discussed? Yes, 3G. Here it is uses higher frequency bands for transmission and CDMA concept to deliver data rates of up to 2 megabits. Similarly, you are having many standards here. What are the first standard we have discussed? Yes, the first one, it is your UMTS. The first we have discussed, it is your UMTS. What is UMTS? It is your Universal Mobile Telecommunication System. Mobile Telecommunication System. This is one of the techniques they used. And the next one, it is your, yes, WCDMA. What is WCDMA? It is your wide band. It is your wide band code division multiple access. So during this time, they are using the SIM concept also. SIM concept also they are using. Why they are using the SIM concept? Yes, just for the purpose of billing and for the purpose of identification they are using. So by this time they are using another one technique also, that is your ATM. Here it is, the expansion is asynchronous transfer mode. Asynchronous transfer mode. What is the protocol used here? They use the protocol MPLS. The protocol used is MPLS. What's the expansion for this one? Multi-protocol label switching. So they are using this protocol also. Similarly, IP also used. Similarly, IP is Internet Protocol was also used during that time. Similarly, the frequency ranges, many frequency ranges we have discussed. That is the ranges, band frequency ranges from, that is between 1900 and 2200 megahertz. So clear with the topic. So today we have discussed the second generation. Then next it is your second generation and third generation bridge. And next we have discussed your 3G. 3G, it was introduced in the year 2003, and what are the techniques, what are the technology that are available during that time also we have discussed. Similarly, during this time they are using the SIM concept also, that is your subscriber identity, that also they are using this time. So clear with the third generation, second generation, and the bridge between the second and the third generation. Yes, remaining generations we can continue in the next class. Thank you, students.